If you're in your 20s, I want you to hear me out because I think what you do in your 20s can literally define how the rest of your life goes. And even if you're not in your 20s and you're stumbling upon this video, I hope you at least find it entertaining, intriguing, maybe a little bit motivational, who knows. And by the way, thank you so much for even stumbling upon this video and listening to me ramble on. I created this channel to talk about things I'm super passionate about and hopefully find some like-minded people on here and we can all just benefit from each other. That's it. And something I probably don't need to tell you is the last 5 years from 2020 to now, things have gotten super expensive. I mean, just think about it. Housing, groceries, utilities, vehicles, insurance on those vehicles and on those houses and apartments have all gone up significantly. And you know what's not gone up significantly? It's people's wages. And to be honest, I don't think they ever will catch up to the prices that things are getting to. At some point, I'm going to talk about AI. And one of the funny things that I don't understand why people believe about AI is that they think because AI is going to fast track a lot of things and make things super productive, that everything is going to become cheaper. Because I don't know if you've noticed, technology has only gotten better, especially over the past couple decades. And what have we seen with this technology getting better and better? We've seen more and more expensive things. Now, some electronics, I will say, yes, they have gone down. You can get TVs cheaper than ever, computers, cell phones, those kind of things. But the other stuff, the stuff you actually need and rely on to live, how has technology made them cheaper over time? So this whole idea that AI is going to make everything cheaper in the future and not displace everyone from their job, though this isn't specifically about that in this video, I think is absurd. And from 2020 to 2025, inflation has been very high. And something I've noticed during this time period that I don't think enough people acknowledge or talk about is how the people that own assets really benefited from inflation, while the others that work and live paycheck to paycheck and don't have any extra money to invest and don't have any assets yet, they really were affected negatively the most. And so the point of this video is to tell you that I think that if you don't have any assets yet, you should highly consider making that a top priority, because I don't think wages are ever going to catch up to the price increases that we're going to see or have already seen. And I think your only way to combat this is to have assets. So from just 2020 to 2022, a statistic that I find staggering is that people that own homes for those 2 years saw their median wealth go up 40 to 45%. So to 2 to 3-ish years, the median person saw their net worth go up by almost half. So if you had $1 million net worth in 3 years, you saw it go to 1.5 million. And I think something about this statistic that really stands out is, yes, it says homeowners' median wealth went up that amount, but typically homeowners have other assets besides houses. And your net worth is not always just tied up into your home. If you own stocks or if you own cryptocurrency or something else of value, that is also part of your net worth. And meanwhile, the people that didn't have assets, what did they see? They just saw things getting more expensive while their wages weren't increasing at that same rate. And as of right now, only 60 to 62% of Americans report that they own some kind of stock, whether that's through their 401k, their IRA, their regular taxable brokerage account. Only about 3 out of 5 people have some kind of assets in the stock market, which I think personally is super low. And so it's actually my personal belief that if you don't start accumulating assets, the earlier the better. So that's why I say if you're in your 20s going into the year 2026 and you don't own any assets yet, I highly advise you look into doing so. Because my belief is that that's going to be your only way to stand a chance for the next 40 to 50 years. Are we going to get some kind of universal basic income? I don't know. Is Social Security going to be around by the time you and I retire? I don't know. But what I can control is what I put my money into. And I think the easiest way to get started when it comes to accumulating assets is investing in index funds, which is just a collection, a broad collection of stocks. For instance, the S&P 500, that is an index with the top 500 largest companies in the US all bundled into one stock that you can purchase and have exposure to all of these different companies. And if they do well, you do well. And as of the time of recording this video, the S&P 500 over the last 5 years has gone up 82%. So if I had $100,000 invested in the S&P 500, after 5 years, I'd have $182,000. And even if you can just invest $5 a week or whatever you're able to do, not only is that going to benefit you because you're investing your money, but I think it's putting you in a mindset that this is a necessity. And that could be so much more valuable than just the investment on its own, is having that mindset shift that you are investing into your future. And then hopefully over time, you can increase that more and more by finding ways to either cut out expenses that you don't necessarily need, maybe that Netflix subscription or Prime, and then you cut out Prime and you realize, oh, I'm not buying as much from Amazon now, so I can use this extra money to invest. Or if you're simply living paycheck to paycheck and you're not spending any more on anything extra, I'm sorry, but you have to find a way to get some extra income to be able to invest. Because here's the reality. I don't think anyone else is going to look out for you. I don't think the government is going to look out for you. I don't think big tech is going to look out for you. I don't think corporations are going to look out for you. If you want a real shot for your future, you have to start investing. And the younger you are, the better you have a chance at succeeding. My girlfriend at one point, when we started talking about finances and such, she would tell me, well, isn't the stock market risky? And I would rebuttal and I'd say, well, isn't not investing even more risky? And then she would say something like, well, I'd rather spend my money while I still can and while I'm young and still able to do things. And that's fair, but that's only fair to a certain extent, right? You don't have to spend every extra dollar that you have on things or experiences. You can spend a fraction of it. And the other fraction goes into investments. It doesn't have to be this all or nothing. If you have some extra disposable income, I'm not saying you just eat beans and rice for the rest of your life and invest as much as you can and then come out ahead at the end, because that's not the point of this either. The point is the future is not looking so great for people that just work and spend their paycheck and don't have anything saved and invested, because sooner or later, that difference between what you make and what you need is just going to grow. And it's not going to grow in a positive way. And who knows, maybe in the end, I'm wrong. Maybe AI and automation will make everything great and everything will be cheaper and better and you'll live such a better life because of it. I really do hope that is the case. However, I don't think that's actually going to happen. And I definitely wouldn't bet on that being the outcome. And so if you're wanting to get started, I recommend you look up opening a brokerage account. There's many different companies that you can open them up with. There's Robinhood, there's Fidelity, there's Charles Schwab. And then secondly, putting that money in some kind of index fund. My personal favorite is the S&P 500. Like I said, it's the top 500 largest companies in America. It's very well diversified. So if one company doesn't do well, you have another 499 companies in that basket to help pull it up. And then next, see how much of every paycheck that you get you can put towards this fund. What's something left over? You might already invest in your 401k and get the match, and that's great. However, I don't know if that's even going to be enough. So if you have something left over, see if it makes sense to put some of that into more investments. In the end, it's up to you. What do you want to do? Maybe you have a brighter outlook on the future and you think you're going to be fine, then that's great. But if you see things as I do and you see things getting more expensive and you don't see you getting that raise each and every year that you need to catch up with these things, then you need to start thinking about how can I bridge this gap and make sure I'm on track to live my best life. And I personally believe that's by investing. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you see things just getting more and more expensive and this being your only way to combat it? Or do you have something else that you do that I don't know about? I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in a future video.